Oh, shit. Oh. Cut. Yeah, Jables is muted, and apparently I'm screwing up a little here. He's going on a tirade about furries for some reason. I don't know. He's got a thing for them. Uh, so, yeah. Jables, stop and I'll unmute you. And you can do the intro finally. Okay. You're unmuted. Do the intro.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Lesser Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show for the YouTube Saints, which starts at about 7:30. We start at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in another time zone, go fuck yourself. We're your one and only pre-show for the YouTube Saints, which will be starting in about 2 hours. So until then, we'll keep you company.
I don't know of much server news we have for this week. At least nothing coming out. Lessie is officially a mod, so congratulate him. That one's been a long time coming. In fact, if he hadn't lost his internet, he would have been a mod plenty sooner. That's about it that we can talk about. Other stuff is potentially... we must gather the pitchforks, torches, and some Kool-Aid. Yuck, no. Yes, bring the pitchforks towards Jables all you want. Leave me out of it.
He has no part in it. All I have to say is jokes are jokes. Anyways, carrying on.
I screwed up and brought us to the main page first, so we got nothing else. Let's go straight into the first article, which you've already seen. This is why I'm getting my PC built. I started building it yesterday. I'm just gonna take over production. He thinks he'll take over production.
I'm gonna take over the means of production.
Well, what we
anyways,
have.
so guys, our first article. Guess what? Your error is racist.
No, that's not our first article. Las Vegas shooting.
Okay, sorry. I'm all off now. Fuck.
Yeah, he's off.
Never mind. We're talking about the deaths of people and extreme victim blaming.
There's a reason that I am the production manager. Oh.
We get confused about the order every week. It's fine. It's format.
The owner of the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas has filed a lawsuit against more than 1,000 victims of a mass shooting that killed 58 people in 2017. The MGM Resort International's lawsuit does not seek money and appears to be a judicial bid to avoid liability and dismiss claims against it. A lawyer for several victims called the lawsuit outrageous and verging on unethical, according to U.S. reports.
I can't disagree with that.
No, I can't disagree with that either. It's a bit messed up, but at the same time, continuing on with the article, I can see where they're coming from at least. Stephen Paddock, 64, opened fire on festival goers before killing himself. Unless you're a conspiracy theorist, in which case you toss in an allegedly in there. But let's not get into that.
It's the glow-in-the-dark CIA. I'm not going to say the last word for that one.
Paddock had set up a firing point with 23 weapons in the Mandalay Bay overlooking the Route 91 Harvest Festival, also owned by MGM, on 1st October last year. MGM Resorts International filed complaints in Nevada and California, arguing it could not be held liable for any deaths, injuries, or damages caused during the attack. Plaintiffs have no liability of any kind to defendants, the complainants argue. It says the security company it hired was certified by the Department of Homeland Security and was therefore protected from liability under a 2002 federal act. MGM argues that this protection extends to the hotel giant as it hired the security firm. A spokesperson for MGM said in a statement it was not suing victims for any money and was sympathetic. Years of drawn-out litigation and hearings are not in the best interest of the victims, the community, and those still healing, Deborah Deschong said on Monday.
Hold on real quick.
So
they're suing victims for money, but they're not suing victims for money?
No, they're not suing victims for money, period. They're suing in order to get to make sure that they aren't held liable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so they don't lose money. It's not so they can get money. Lawyers for victims said MGM was apparently trying to get the case heard in federal courts instead of state courts, as this might give it a better chance of victory. Robert Eglett, a lawyer for several victims, said the lawsuit, quite frankly, verges on unethical. And I don't necessarily disagree. I've never seen a more outrageous thing, where they sue the victims in an effort to find a judge they like, he told the Las Vegas Review-Journal. It's just really sad that they would stoop to this level. Lawsuits have been filed by victims groups against both MGM and concert promoter Live Nation. The mass shooting remains unresolved in the U.S., as police are still unsure as to why the gunman opened fire on 22,000 festival goers for 10 minutes. Without a motive related to extreme ideologies of a political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature, officials will not call the mass shooting an act of terrorism.
Fair enough. I hope this case goes to Judge Judy. I think that'd be fun. Terrible as this whole thing is.
Oh God, it's horrible, and you're horrible too.
Yes. I am a terrible, terrible person, and I will go through the streets of Discord and flog myself mercilessly.
As well you should.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're...
Yeah.
Wait, do you have anything to say about that?
We're getting a little too inside baseball, I think.
Sire says, no, I'm pretty sure the shooting has been resolved. The investigation into it, on the other hand... ...
Yeah. Pretty sure the shooter killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But
so now,
unfortunately, there's enough there for conspiracy theorists to come up with their conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I saw some conspiracy theories that were like, the shooter was actually an undercover CIA agent, and
you just cut out. I don't know if... Did you hit restart on your computer again? Or can you even hear me? What is going on? Oh, maybe it's me. I having the issues? Yep. Alright, I'm gonna have to restart Discord. Give me a moment. And I will have Jables back in a second. Oh, it's deafened
Pretty good in the
somehow.
chat.
I deafened it on accident.
Yeah.
That was on me. That was on me.
Okay.
I have a hotkey and my tablet fell on it.
Huh? You just
Yeah.
didn't want to hear my conspiracy? No, I think you're a shell for the government, and you legally were not able to hear the conspiracy theory that I was spouting out. So.
Well, I've heard plenty of conspiracy theories myself. Like there were actually multiple incidents going on at the same time. So who really knows? At this point, all we can go on is the facts that we have. Unless you're a conspiracy theorist, in which case you're gonna make up facts. Potentially.
Yeah.
You're gonna find that one feather that should have been 2 millimeters to the right, and that's gonna spawn an entire conspiracy theory about how God is sending angels down to do his bidding, and that they were behind the trigger, or some crazy batshit.
He was shooting.
Like that.
He was shooting in a triangle formation. Triangle is a symbol for the New World Order. New World Order means Illuminati.
Yeah, let's move. let's move on to racist air. Yeah, it's about as stupid as it sounds.
Guys, air is racist.
Yeah.
This is kind of an old article. This is an old thing from way back in the days of the peak of Black Lives Matter.
But let's just talk about this anyway. It was funny.
Yeah. I love how this is from Mother Jones, and at the top it's asking me to sign up, and it's like, looking for news you can trust? Subscribe to our free newsletters.
Well, this is to show you that things haven't changed all that much in 4 years.
No. So, earlier this month, an environmental scientist at the University of Minnesota came out with a startling nationwide study showing that different demographic groups are exposed to drastically different amounts of pollution each year. Yeah, it's called location. The study overlaid U.S. Census data with exposure levels of a pollutant called nitrogen dioxide, or NO2, which is created...
Did you just say no to?
I did.
You are a horrible, horrible person.
Yep. Which is created by combustion in vehicles and power plants. The results each year, people of color are exposed to 46% more NO2 than white people.
God damn you.
Sorry. Do you want me to call it nitrogen dioxide?
No. Just go.
NO2 is associated with increased heart disease, lung cancer, asthma, and preterm births, and is one of 6 quote-unquote criteria pollutants that the Environmental Protection Agency regulates in accordance with the Clean Air Act. Interestingly, the exposure gap between races was far larger than the gap between income brackets. If your household income is more than $70,000, you're exposed to NO2 only 3%, less than someone who lives in a household making under $20,000. Wait, they didn't explain that it was different between races and income brackets. Whatever. The overall NO2 levels and the disparity levels between the races varied widely by city. You can see the complete breakdown here. But here's the short list of the most polluted and most unequal cities when it comes to NO2. The dirtiest dozen. Alright, so we've got
Los Angeles, New York, San Bernardino, San Jose, Salt Lake City, Philadelphia, Denver, Chicago, San Francisco, whatever that place is, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. Gee, is it just me, or are these larger metropolitan areas?
I don't know. LA isn't that big of a metropolitan area.
It's not like it's the second largest city in the United States or anything.
Oh no. Of course not. That would be
Although
ridiculous.
it's kind of funny that the largest one and the second largest one are reversed on this list. How is LA worse than New York?
How is... Wait, hold on. Let me double check what these graphs are saying.
Yeah, read them.
Yeah, so the first one is the dirtiest dozen. Cities with the highest overall nitrogen dioxide exposure in parts per billion. And for some reason they separated it between white people and people of color, just in general. And then the next one is the most unjust dozen. Cities with the biggest racial disparities in nitrogen dioxide exposure relative to overall exposure in parts per billion. So you got Brunswick, Georgia, Rochester, New York. These are...
Like, how did they control for this
stupid.
shit? How did they control for this shit?
I don't know.
I mean, this alone just kind of shows that this is the same shit they're putting out now. It's not... They're not explaining stuff. I mean, they may later, but...
No, I think what they're doing is they're just showing the stats of, hey, this many white people live here and this many people of color live here. And this is how much nitrogen nitrogen dioxide is involved.
No, what they're saying is that this is the breakdown. Oh, black people have it worse because they get this much more nitrogen dioxide exposure than white people over here. You know, there could be plenty of reasons for that, but if you're going to take an entire city and break that down, then yeah, you're going to come up with disparities, possibly due to income brackets. And yeah, they're trying to say that it's worse compared to the income brackets, but it
Yes.
probably has a lot to do with income brackets.
And due to a lot of racist things that happened in the past in the U.S., there's
Yeah.
a disparity with income brackets
Oh,
between races.
We
But it's not necessarily because of race anymore.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago on why California is the equivalent of that Elysium movie.
I don't remember that, but I also haven't seen Elysium, so that's probably why I just sort of forgot about it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to continue.
Yeah. Julian Marshall, the co-author of the study, speculated that the racial disparity came largely from patterns in where people live. Hey guys, did you know if you live next to a freeway, you're gonna get more dirty air from all the cars driving by all the time?
Would have never
Weird.
guessed.
Americans in urban areas often cluster by race. These wired maps show that clearly, and as the evidence shows, those neighborhoods where people of color live are more likely to have higher No-2 levels. Sorry, I can't say it without laughing now. Last year, a study from the Centers for Disease Control came to a similar conclusion, finding that more than 5 million people of color live within 150 meters of a major U.S. highway. Yes. It happens. People live near highways. You know why people live near highways? Because it's cheap to live near highways.
Yep.
All right. Measuring the public health implications of the massive gap in pollution exposure is a tricky business. Shit. As so many different factors play a role in the development of any given disease. But what scientists can do is look at something called the relative risk of a given pollutant. Oh, goddamn. Circles. Bullshit. It's frustrating.
Well, if you want to move on, we can just skip to the next one.
Nah.
Well, this is an old one, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And
People live in different areas. Cultures cluster together. That's all this article is saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, you gotta ask yourself: am I going too far when I'm calling the air racist?
They think not.
Apparently not. All right, relative risk of blah 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 blah. Essentially, how much risk of developing a certain disease increases as you're exposed to more of that pollutant. The Minnesota team used nitrogen dioxide's relative risk as it relates to heart disease to come every fucking week, Rimshy. Fucking typos. This is even an old article. They've had plenty of time to fucking fix this shit. Every fucking week. To come to the conclusion...
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Papa Rimshy. I get frustrated
Grandma.
with editors that don't know how to do their job. That's my fault. Editors need to edit. You're getting paid for a reason, God. Come to the conclusion in the chart above. 7,000 fewer people of color would die of heart disease each year if they were exposed to the same nitrogen dioxide levels as white people. And while that statistic is striking, it's only the tip of the iceberg. Thousands fewer people of color would experience asthma, lung disease, and preterm births if they had the same exposure to nitrogen dioxide as white people do. If you applied the same hypothetical to other pollutants, like ozone and particulate matter, the numbers would grow even bigger. Okay. So before I go on to this article, fun fact about Jables. I was borderline asthmatic when I was a little kid. And then my parents started smoking their cigarettes outside instead of inside. And it practically went away. When you are exposed to shit, your lungs and your other organs can't develop as well. So you're more prone to develop disorders such as asthma or allergies and things like that. It's only one little part of it, but, you know.
It is a part.
Yes. So where's this pollution coming from? In urban areas where air pollution levels are usually highest, the biggest culprit is transportation. Here's a breakdown of how much air pollution, including nitrogen dioxide, but else... It's just a space that they're missing here. It's really Rimshy. You gotta save me. But also ozone, particulate matter,
That's
and
not
carbon
also
monoxide.
ozone, that's also known.
That's Alsuzone. Alsuzone.
It's not a typo.
Oh. Yeah, and carbon monoxide that different vehicles emit in a year. Yeah, and they show how much pollution fucking vehicles emit per year, blah, 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 blah. Alright, I'll read the last paragraph. Marshall said that his team focused on nitrogen dioxide in cities because it contributes to the formation of two other pollutants, ozone and particulate matter. And it's seen as a proxy for other pollutants that come from combustion. In other words, the results are likely to hold for lots of other pollutants. Yes, many factors lead to your overall health depending on the area you grow up in and the environment you're in.
Yep.
Yep. Can we also add that at the bottom of this article, there is a petition to join or sign, and it's titled, "Trump is indeed guilty of one form of collusion."
I don't even want to read that. If you want to read it, pause.
Oh no, I don't even want to comment on that.
Yeah. We're going to move on to the next article. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, James Gunn was fired for, what, tweets done 10 years ago?
Yeah, 10-year-old tweets that were done in 2008.
And here we have Selma Blair urging Disney to rehire him. This man is one of the good ones.
Said every victim of a male feminist ever. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Stats, guys. I'm going based on stats.
Selma Blair took to Twitter this weekend defending James Gunn and urging Disney's Marvel to rehire the filmmaker after he was fired for controversial tweets that recently resurfaced. At James Gunn, I thank you for your talent, your decency, and your evolution as a man. You propped me up when I was in a scary place and guided me towards the decent and right thing to do, the actress wrote. You have shown strength of character more than most anyone I know. You understood. It followed in a follow-up tweet, Blair shared a Change.org petition titled Marvel Rehire James Gunn. She added, because if people are pushing despite change, punishing, because if people are punishing despite changing, or punished, god damn, I can't talk today. I'm screwing up all over the place. Because if people are punished despite changing, then what does that teach people about owning mistakes and evolving? This man is one of the good ones.
Oh, it's like people can say things in the past and change over time. I have this standard rule when it comes to things written on the internet. If you go back farther than 2 years, you're going too far back.
Yeah. I mean, look at Cenk Uygur. Their own standards dictate that he be put on blast for stuff he said, what, 20 years ago, 15 years ago?
Yeah. Well, it was his whole political party that he started with, what's his face?
Yeah.
Got totally dismembered because of those articles that he wrote when he was an edgy early to mid 20-year-old.
Yeah.
It's okay to be edgy, guys.
And in their haste to show virtue, they screwed over the entire company. Anyway, Marvel, rehire James Gunn, signed the petition, and it has the link, of course. Because if people are punished, well, it's basically saying what was said earlier. Blair and Gunn have been close for years. Last year, when she detailed to Vanity Fair the sexual harassment she faced while auditioning for James Tabak, Blair said that Gunn's support helped her come forward with her story. In a separate interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Blair said that Gunn and Doctor Strange writer-director Scott Derrickson reached out and said how important it was to be on this side of history. Gunn was fired on Friday.
I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
Can I say how much I hate that phrase? Because you don't know which side of history you're on until you're in the future and you look back at the books.
Oh, yeah. Because victors write the history books, and that's just the reality.
Yeah.
And even then, the right side of history is not always the right side of history. It's not always the one that wins. But it's going to be the victory side is the one that's going to make itself look good.
Yeah. And even on top of that, there's no way of telling what the other outcome could be. So there's no way to say that it actually was the right side of history. For the most part.
Gunn was fired on Friday after conservative personalities resurfaced old tweets.
Wait, Gunn was fired?
Yeah, Gunn was fired. After conservative personalities resurfaced old tweets in which the filmmaker joked about controversial topics such as pedophilia and rape. Gunn has been an outspoken critic of President Donald Trump. Okay, I don't see why that's important, but carrying on. The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relations with him. Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn said in a statement. Apart from Blair, Gunn also received support from Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista, who tweeted Friday that he was not okay with the director's firing. After learning of Blair's praise for Helmer, Bautista thanked the actress further, arguing that the firing was a result of a cyber Nazi attack. What?
Yeah. Okay. So, no, I've been looking into this all weekend. So this whole outrage for James Gunn, this started with mostly Mike Cernovich, just sort of retweeting some screen grabs that he was sent. And while this is the doing of the right to spread all this out and get him fired, what they're doing, and it fucking pains me to defend Mike Cernovich right now. You guys have no fucking idea. What they're doing is they're holding people that are to the left of them to the same standard. So generally, people will go after right-leaning people and start sharing offensive tweets to get them fired. They're just doing the same thing to people that are on the left, and it's just becoming a shit show.
It's horrendous at this point.
Yeah. Don't try to get people fired. Let people just do their jobs. Does the company have to defend them? No. But
attack them directly. Don't attack the company they work for. Unless they are a figurehead of that company and are directing that company to do stuff specifically.
I wouldn't... Well, if they're directing the company to
that's why I threw that in specifically.
Yeah, like if they're directing the company, like, we're not going to hire black people because I don't like black people. Maybe you should expose that.
Boycott, do whatever you got to do for that. But if it's, hey, this statement's not going to affect the company I work for, but I believe this. Attack that individual.
Yeah. Oh, he was an edgy boy outside of a work area where he was just living his life.
Years ago at that.
A decade ago.
Yeah.
At that.
What happened... Yeah. Continuing on. What happened here is so much bigger than G3. James Gunn, myself, Disney, etc. Bautista tweeted, "This was a cyber-Nazi attack that succeeded. Unless we start to unite together against this crap, whether people are offended or not, it's going to get much worse, and it can happen to anyone." That's what plenty of people have been saying.
Yes. That's what people that lean to... Like, I'm not even talking, like, the far-right, alt-right people. I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking to people that are just generally conservative. It's been happening to them for a long time now.
Oh, yeah.
Gamergate, all the Gamergate people, have people involved in that. Lots of people lost their jobs in that.
Yeah, and that wasn't necessarily an attack at the companies until it became obvious that it was company supported.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the pro Gamergaters, you know, the ones that were actually asking for proper journalism when it came to gaming. A lot of them were then attacked and they lost their jobs. Not the people that were actually the journalists, but the people that were advocating for ethical journalism ended up losing their jobs.
Yeah. Well, continuing on, Bautista also argued, "Who will punish you for horrible jokes? In the past, instead of defending you for inspiring millions, redemption, injustice." Meanwhile, Gunn's brother Sean, who also stars in the Guardians franchise, came to his defense, urging fans to still appreciate the films despite his director brother formerly being kind of a jackass. Nice, bro.
Yeah.
My
You know,
my hope is that fans continue to watch and appreciate the Guardians movies, not despite the fact that the filmmaker used to be kind of a jackass, but because of it. Wait, what? There are, after all, movies about discovering your best self, the actor tweeted. He also reiterated that this is not the first time the director has apologized for the controversial tweets, and therefore has always been part of the story.
oh, that's another thing. These tweets were brought up back in like 2010, 2011, before he got hired on to work on Guardians of the Galaxy, and Disney just ignored it. But now they're going to
Fire
take it
him.
seriously.
Go figure.
Yeah.
This is just a mild absurdity. In response to the tweets resurfacing, Gunn wrote on Twitter last week. Many people who have followed my career know when I started, I viewed myself as a provocateur, making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo. As I have discussed publicly many times, as I've developed as a person, so has my work and my humor. He added, "It's not to say I'm better, but I am very, very different than I was a few years ago. Today I try not to root my work in love and connection and less I try to root my work in love and connection and less in anger. My days saying something just because it's shocking and trying to get a reaction are over." Yeah.
Um, hey, Rimshi.
Yeah.
I know a really good reading tutor. Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
It's real good.
I am just having. Of course, I'm gonna screw stuff up today. It's the first time my family's watching. My grandma's there, my parents are there, my girlfriend's there. Probably my sister's sitting there watching it on their TV in the family room.
You can't see me, but I'm waving. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. No, you can't think about that. My mom watches every week, and she sends me angry texts every Monday morning.
Oh, I'm not saying that I'm thinking about it and that's why I'm screwing up. I'm saying I'm screwing up, and it just so happens to be that it has to be the week that they're watching.
I think you only notice because you know they're watching.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Should we put a pin in the gun? Should we disarm this? And bring in a.
Yeah, I'll finish this. I'll finish this up, and then I'll finish this up. I'll just read these last couple paragraphs. Get our guest in.
Cool. All right.
The offensive. And I just get I just got a text saying, "Oh, we're not really listening to you anyways, honey."
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
My words of nearly a decade ago were, at the time, totally failed and unfortunate efforts to be provocative. His statement read, "I have regretted them for many years since, not just because they were stupid, not at all funny, wildly insensitive, and certainly not provocative like I had hoped, but also because they don't reflect the person I am today, or have been for some time." He continued, "Regardless of how much time has passed, I understand and accept the business decisions taken today. Even these many years later, I take full responsibility for the way I conducted myself then. All I can do now, beyond offering my sincere and heartfelt regret, is to be the best human being I can be. Accepting, understanding, committing to equality, and far more thoughtful about my public statements and my obligations to our public discourse. To everyone inside my industry and beyond, I again offer my deepest apologies. Love to all." Prior to his termination, Gunn had been writing the script for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Though Marvel Studios had never officially announced the date, the movie was expected to begin shooting in Atlanta in the fall for an expected 2020 release date. And
all right.
yes, and do we now have Barr? No. Get him Not bar.
No, we're not gonna have bar.
Where was it? Here we go. Just
Yeah,
waiting
our
on him
guest.
to come in. Our guest.
Yeah,
Our guest.
our guest, H. Greg,
Oh no, it's me.
half of the
Oh
Squigs
no.
and Greg show. That doesn't
Oh
exist
no,
yet.
it's me. Not again.
Well, here's the real question: will the Squigs
My
and Griggs
demons
show ever
continue to haunt
exist?
me. Whenever Squix comes up with a format.
Well,
An
we got
an
we
extra-
got.
That's never gonna fucking happen.
Well, Griggs, we have two things to talk about with you. I just sent you the first one.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah.
This one's really short.
It's
And,
really, it's short, it's sweet, it's simple.
Hey, I could apply for this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, wait, I don't have a bachelor degree.
so here's the first thing we're talking about him with.
So
Apparently,
you know the joke that the left can't meme?
The
They're-
left literally can't meme.
they're
They have to hire
outsourcing.
someone.
Yeah.
They are
They're-
outsourcing. This is an archived image or archive of the Indeed page. But let's just scroll down so you can see the whole thing. Oh, a little too far.
You can make good
Conceptualize
money.
and design political memes for a large liberal Facebook group. Occupy Democrats, Philadelphia. It's paying $22.50 a month, part time.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
For
that's
a
not
part-time
bad.
job?
Yeah, for a part time.
Yeah, you just have to make memes.
That's about as much as I make on my full-time.
We
Yeah.
seek a skilled graphics designer to make memes for Occupy Democrats, a large and popular liberal Facebook group. The ideal candidate would be well versed in politics, preferably obsessed, and have proficiency in Photoshop. Hours are noon to 5, working out of my home office in South Philadelphia. Please send links to work samples when applying. Also, please describe your interest in politics and why you'd uniquely qualify to come up with compelling, high-value added memes. Please do
here's-
not
here's the-
apply if you're not obsessed with politics. It will be a waste of your time and mine.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They missed an amazing opportunity at getting actual meme makers to come in. They should have said West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Yeah, let's not keep going with that.
Shut up, Max. And
But
relax,
it's
Uncle.
saying that you need a bachelor's and you need to be in Philadelphia, apparently.
This just
This is why you can't fucking meme.
This just in. To make memes, you need to have a bachelor's degree. Let's look to 4chan and see how many of them have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Probably about an eighth to a quarter of them.
Dude,
And that's highballing.
Well, no, they want it's the reason why they require a bachelor's degree is because they want those intellectual memes that nobody fucking laughs at.
The intellectual memes that no
Well,
one
you see,
cares
I as an
about.
intellectual laugh at those intellectual memes. Only intellectuals understand them.
This is why the left can't meme. They want intellectual memes that give a lot of info.
No. This is
Not-
Me as an intellectual laugh at you saying me as an intellectual laugh at intellectual memes because I know that I'm far too intellectual to even bother with the
No.
intellectual.
Here's the thing. That's the reason why the left can't meme, because they are charging for memes. You can't charge money for a meme.
No, they're paying for memes.
Yeah, but there's a charge.
Yeah. Memes happen naturally. Memes come from the heart. Don't let your memes be dreams.
Oh boy.
or should you not let your memes be dreams either?
Well, here's the thing.
Or
You
don't
should
let
not
your
let your
dreams be
memes be
me- whatever.
dreams. You shouldn't let them be dreams, but you also shouldn't be paid $25,000 part time. $2,500 part time to make memes.
That just shows.
Over a year-long period, that is $25,000. So you got it right both times. Yeah. I think I should be paid. I think I can make better memes than
Yeah, but here's the thing: as soon as you start charging memes, as soon as you start trying to make money off of memes, That's the point where the meme stops being funny, and you become a meme. Just like we're making this person a meme now.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there is still a whole article where you can apply for this job. If anybody wants that, just hit me up in my DMs.
Yeah, it's not like I'm trying to keep it from being archived. Alright, it's not like I'm trying to keep it from going down, because it's gone down or something like that. No, it still exists. I just don't want to give it traffic unless you're actually going to apply.
Yeah. So if you want to apply, hit up me.
Remsheet, we take that archive page and we throw it to the alt-right and we're like, yo, apply.
Yeah, put this on 4chan or something.
Well, actually, I was thinking about giving it to the Date Brigade.
Oh.
Like, here's the best part. You give it to them, and now you have a man on the inside slowly planting subliminal memes, much like the FBI was trying to do for a very long time and they failed.
Yeah, but you'll actually have a meme artist that can do this shit.
Please note this is not a joke. The FBI literally does have a memetics warfare department.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. No, I think giving it to the Dank Brigade would be the greatest idea, because there would be so many like little things. Like, there would be the tiniest little picture. If you zoomed in real close, you'd see some scat porn or something.
Well, it is what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Magna Scarta hyperlink listed in like the fucking XTIF file for the image.
Jesus.
Shall we move on to the next thing? It's what I just posted, Grinks.
Yeah. We can always go back to this, because this is a fucking lol cow of a fucking job.
Yeah, you did send that to Jeff, didn't you?
I did. I probably should have sent it to Nick too, but
well, there's still time. The show doesn't start for another hour.
It'll get to Nick eventually.
yeah. Everybody send it to Nick.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the next one. Man arrested for singing Kung Fu Fighting. That is the actual title, and apparently this is in Europe?
Yeah.
Things were really as fast as lightning.
Oh, no. Here's the kicker, Griggs. It happened on the Isle of Wight.
Wait, hold on, what?
No joke. W-I-G-H-T.
I know, I just read that.
Yes.
Yes,
sire.
This is truly the weirdest reality.
Yeah.
That you're reading that title correctly.
Oh, this article's from like 2011 though, so that's still. We thought it was funny. By the way, guys, the guy wasn't actually charged with anything. He was let go, but he was arrested initially.
But hold on, here's the question: did he also do the instrumentals?
Well.
Oh, we're getting to that.
Oh no.
Police arrested a singer on racism charges after a man, reportedly of Chinese descent, complained about his performance of the song Kung Fu Fighting, according to reports.
Really bad.
Simon Ledger, 34, told Britain's The Sun newspaper that he and his band were reporting the 1970s classic at the Driftwood Beach Bar on the Isle of Wight, off the southern coast of England.
So things really haven't changed that much in England.
No.
Here's the question: with all these weird names, is England really a real place? Are we sure it's a real place?
I fucking hope not. I hope all the people in the Discord, their accents are fake and shit.
The flat Earth is the truth. There's no such thing as places outside of the U.S. It's all just actors.
I was about to say I hope they're Australian, but Australia doesn't exist either.
As we all know, all countries are just America, but a little over there.
Yeah. Okay. So we were performing kung fu fighting as we do during all our sets, he told the newspaper.
Every single set is just kung fu fighting.
No, he has a whole band. They just play kung fu fighting for every set. People of all races were loving it. Chinese people have never been offended by it before.
Hold on, where in this article does it also say, I have a Chinese friend and he loves the song?
There's a Chinese member of the band. It's okay, right?
I'm Chinese, I swear!
Look, our esteemed Chinese guest requested the song. He demanded the song be played. He held a gun to our head.
Hold on. But Ledger told the Sun, an Asian man walking by with his mother, hurled an expletive and made an obscene hand gesture at the performers during the Sunday afternoon performance, then took a photo with his cell phone. We hadn't even seen them when we started the song. He must have phoned the police, the Sun quoted him as saying. The man claimed he was subjected to racial abuse, police told BBC News, and complained to the police the same evening. I thought it was a joke, Ledger told the Sun. The police called him after that evening while he was eating at a Chinese restaurant to arrange... Okay, I didn't read that part of the article.
Okay.
Wait, did he get arrested in a Chinese restaurant after that?
Apparently he got arrested in a Chinese restaurant after pissing off a Chinese man for singing a song about kung fu.
God, the kicks really were fast as lightning in this case.
Yeah, it was at that meeting that police arrested him. Holy shit. He was in a Chinese restaurant for a meeting, and the police arrested him for singing kung fu fighting because a Chinese man reported him. Oh, Jesus Christ.
This story has taken a very interesting turn. The only way this can get better is if we find out that the Isle of Wight is actually in China.
Unfortunately, it's on the southern end of England, so who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, China's south of England, technically.
You're so full of shit, Griggs.
No, wait, hold on. Yeah, most of it is south of England. Yeah. Technically. The BBC reports that police released Ledger after his arrest, intending to question him further at a later date. What sort of question? My band plays a song in every set.
So, I guess one of the questions would be, "Oi, mate, you got a license for that song?"
Jesus Christ. An investigation into this allegation is continuing to establish the full circumstances surrounding what happened. And Hampshire, you know, if I was from England, I'd be pissed that my tax money was going to this. It'd be so fucking pissed.
Well, it's also going towards blunting knives. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All I can imagine is there's a police press conference. So the man was singing kung fu fighting, and that's about it. Any questions?
Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was a joke, but they were serious, Ledger told the Sun. They seemed pretty amazed, but said the law is the law, and it was their duty. It's political correctness gone potty.
The potty? Oh.
A British term for crazy, apparently. The owner of the bar defended Ledger, telling the newspaper that he doesn't believe the song or the singer are racist, and that there is no way he would abuse anyone. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the words to this song.
It
might get copyrighted.
In the defense of the Chinamen, they do say China.
No, oh, whoa, hey. That's a good way to get us banned from YouTube, using language like that.
Damn it. Boys, they know the plan. Cut the feed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all in that second section. Well, it's not just there, but they were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up and they were chopping them down. It's an
How
ancient
is that
Chinese
offensive?
art, and everyone knew their part, or everybody knew their part. From a feint into a slip, and kicking from the hip.
Hey, at the very least, it wasn't as
everybody
bad
wants
as...
kung fu fighting.
Hey, at the very least, this song was not as racist as The Land Down Under, which implies that everyone from Brussels eats Vegemite sandwiches.
Yeah.
There was Funky Billy Chin and Little Sammy Chung. He said, "Here comes the big boss. Let's get it on." We took a bow and made a stand. Started swinging with the hand. The sudden motion made me skip. Now we're into a brand new trip.
So here's the question:
Everybody was
is the next
kung
song?
fu fighting.
Here's the question: is the next song in their song? Is the next song in their set Hong Kong Phooey's theme song?
No, well, actually, I don't know, but it should have been.
It should have been. If you think that was racist.
Yeah, this entire song is a story that is broken down into two sections. A bunch of individuals of Chinese descent get into a street fight where they're participating in kung fu, or they're using kung fu, and everyone is well versed in that style of fighting. And then suddenly the big boss comes out, and the two I guess the two leaders duel against each other. And that's where the story ends. You never see the results of the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, as we all know, the
Sounds like
results
a
of
good
the fight
anime.
were the Boxer Rebellion, where kung fu fighting was never employed.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kicks were fast as lightning.
It was a little bit frightening.
In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
What if?
Make sure you have expert timing.
Here's the thing. What if this guy that reported it to the police was just following along with the song, and it was just extremely frightening? So he called the police.
Okay, so apparently someone just Raisu just shared this in general not that long ago. About 10 minutes into when we started the show. Someone finally realized that there are politics within Skyrim.
Really?
Yeah. Here, let me pull this up on screen.
Yeah, there are politics within Skyrim because it's supposed to be like
a very political game. You know, the dragons have very large amounts of intercontinental politics.
Well, you know, they control the gold, so yeah.
They control the soul.
Okay, when is this article from?
Well, it's on Steam. I'm not entirely sure. I put the link to the thing, but almost 7 years later, though. Come on. Although I do like this this tweet a few down. I make my ancestors proud, liberal.
Can you say the same?
Can you say the same?
Oh, that's fucking beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. Bravo. Alright, so, I want to take a poll. How long do you think it will be before we can start having honest political discussions again?
Never.
Well, I actually found someone who is very liberal that I had a honest discussion with. Her daughter disappeared because she didn't want to hear it. But I was sitting there. She's like an older lady. She's probably 50s, 60s. So definitely older than me.
Here's why I say never. Because that was a lady in her 50s and 60s and her kid walked away.
Yeah, that's true. But those, my point is, those people still do exist.
Yeah, but they're dying off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in Idiocracy, there were smart people, but they did end up dying off.
Yeah. Because they didn't breed. Meanwhile, all the idiots just, oh yeah, this wife, that wife. I don't know which one's mine.
A little column A, a little column B, you know, eventually they get lost.
The swingers club is where it's at.
Well, yeah, you know, Idiocracy, it was pretty much, hey, you got a hole?
Yeah.
Put my dick in it?
That's not wrong. I never thought Idiocracy would be a warning. I thought it was a funny movie. I didn't think it would be a warning of things to come.
Oh boy, Rimshi, you didn't see anything. You didn't see the subtext, did you?
No, not at the time.
Oh boy. But yeah, so is about politics. Nords all the way. They have the right to their own country.
And they have the right to keep anybody out.
and to bear on.
For any reason. I'm gonna go down a dark rabbit hole if we keep going on that route.
Well, then let's poke. Keep poking, brother.
Look, here's all I'm gonna say about the matter. It's a frozen hellhole. They deserve to do whatever they want to do in their frozen hellhole.
Hashtag make frozen hellholes great again.
That already exists. It's called Alaska.
I'll be honest. At this point, the only reason that I sided with the only three reasons I sided with the Imperials was that annoying ass guy in the middle of not Solitude. It's wow, I can't remember the name of the first hold.
Well, I mean, it has been 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I last played. That annoying guy in Whiterun, that's it. Who just keeps spouting about Talos. The books you read, the dossiers on Ulfric Stormcloak, and the fact that I either didn't side with anyone or sided with the Imperials. That's pretty much it.
Skyrim.
I don't know. That's perfectly acceptable. You will just be shunned. Shun the non-believer! Shun!
7 years ago, I was a little busy in California on a farm of some sort. So,
yeah. Well, you can always buy the special edition and play that.
Oh, I do that once I get
California.
It is actually a worthwhile game to play. It's been re-released so many times, so it's worthwhile to play. And yeah, speaking of California, the nanny state.
Oh boy, here we go.
Miss Rimshi and I were talking about that the other day. Because it's because it's her and my 2-year anniversary today, and so since I have the show to do tonight, we decided to go out to dinner last night, and we went out to dinner, and one of the tables near us was talking about weed, and how in order to open a shop for weed, you can't have a criminal record. So most of the people who have been trying to get weed legal for an exceedingly long amount of time can't do anything with weed legally because they have a criminal record, because they have pot-related offenses.
Yeah. Isn't it cool?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
California's the kind of place where you won't go to jail for giving somebody AIDS knowingly, but you can't open up a weed dispensary if you were arrested for weed.
Yeah, welcome to the nanny state of California.
You know, the priorities are all in check.
I'm telling you guys, get out of California.
Soon.
Good job for you.
Eventually.
Once
One of these days.
Once I finish my apprenticeship, that thought has occurred to me, and Miss Rimshi, so, you know, there's the possibility.
I'll tell you what, once you're done with your apprenticeship, well, you're probably going to meet one of my buddies when you come up here next week.
Yeah, by the way, everyone, Miss Rimshi and I will be in Seattle next weekend. We got Pav, Jables, and several others that we're hanging out with. We have no plan as of yet. It was kind of a hodgepodge thing, huh?
No, we have a plan. We just don't have locations set yet.
Yeah.
Dude, if it was next weekend, I could have totally come down.
Oh.
Well, then why don't you?
Because I'm busy.
Next
I
weekend?
need prior information, goddammit.
We told you prior information.
I've been talking about this for months.
Yeah, but not to me directly.
Well, to be fair, we didn't actually
we
tell
talked to you about it.
To be fair, we didn't actually tell anyone directly, except for Pav. Pav was the only person we're like, hey, by the way, we're heading up. I'm heading up there. Why don't we all hang out, get together and hang out? And he's like, oh, cool.
Look,
and we would talk about it in voice chat and in general, and other people found out about it. So it ballooned, and it was fun. It's pretty cool.
I'll say this. You guys did talk about it, but the way you made it sound was like it's happening last month.
No.
No.
I had dates. Oh wait, no, that's when it was happening last month.
Exactly.
And I had to push it back.
Exactly. My point proven. Go away.
Yeah, but we didn't actually tell anyone. So if you're in the Seattle area next weekend,
God help you.
If you have a grappling hook, you can try to hook it to Rimshi's plane if you're on the way.
As long as you don't bring it down, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it just feels like really, really bad turbulence, I'll still be able to sleep. I'm good.
Yeah.
I have experience with that. I've fallen asleep on V-22 while flying before. It's not a big deal. I was not in the cockpit. I was not in the cockpit. Huh?
You've never been on aircraft.
You're such a lying sack of shit.
That's the same reason why I say you shouldn't have sharp medical tools.
Yeah, but I'm Dr. Watson. Shut up.
Oh, so you're only number 2. All right. So yeah, that's humble of you. Don't be Sherlock. That's always a good plan.
Yeah, because Sherlock's a pretentious asshole.
Yeah.
Jables.
Yeah.
Jables Holmes.
The parallels between Sherlock and I don't just end there. Anyways.
I'm fully aware. God damn, the parallels here are surprisingly accurate.
Alright.
Except for the Sherlock always being right part.
Well, it's elementary, my dear Watson. I'm always right because fuck.
Well, I've always said I'm more than willing to admit when I'm wrong. I just haven't been wrong yet. So
yeah, you have.
Yeah, I know. Especially recently.
Oh yeah, recently.
Discussion for another. Yeah, that's a discussion for another week.
Yeah, you got people waiting for you to talk to you.
Yep.
There's a whole line of people with just like textbooks upon textbooks full of "you're wrong."
No, there's literally a group of people waiting for the show to be over.
Yeah, to
that
bitch
want
at him.
to talk to me. Yeah, because I'm an edgy boy.
Do you go me hoy, me hoy, me hoy?
Me hoy, me hoy, me hoy. Yep.
Do you say later, boy?
No, but I was a skater boy. I was a skater boy, and I said, "See you later, boy."
You are. God, I don't know a better word to describe you, but I'm not gonna use it.
Use it. Say it.
No, because I don't want to get in trouble. Not with YouTube or anything. Like I said, my family's watching.
Oh, were you gonna?
It's a good
We're
thing
gonna
I
call-
have going on my.
Hold on. Let me whisper it in your ear real quick. Richie. We're gonna call me a faggot.
No, that's Greg.
Now everyone knows. Thanks for outing me, Rimshi.
Yeah, Jesus, Richie. Why would you just out somebody like that?
God,
You can't just do that, man.
Like that.
Yeah, well, Griggs is a good guy. So of course I'm gonna insult him. Why wouldn't I?
I disagree. I think Greg's is a garbage person.
See, here's the thing. Whenever I inevitably snap, the first person they're gonna interview is Rimshi, and he's gonna be like, Griggs was such a nice person. They're just gonna smash cut to Jables. He's a piece of shit. I knew he was gonna do it. I just did it to win.
God, what the hell?
Maybe I made fun of him and called him names a lot, but I didn't think that would add to it. Jeez.
Please note 90% of the things. Please note 90% of the things said on this podcast are mostly just memes. Please don't call the police. I did nothing wrong.
Wait, hold on, quick. Disclaimer: everything under the Saints brand does not stand behind anything said in this podcast. This podcast is a joking commentary podcast.
No, let's be honest. It's a shit
attribute
show.
this to the overall brand of the Saints. Ding.
Yeah, let's be honest.
disclaimer
This
done.
is a shit show.
Yeah. Well, it's a shit post show.
Well, it's a
No,
shit
it's a shit
show.
pre-show.
It's that too. But I mean, to be fair, the entire server which this is based around is an utter shit show. I mean, if you
Yeah.
ever look at not safe for work, you've made a mistake.
I
Or you're a mod and it's your job.
I beg to differ. It is an amazing place.
Yeah, my mom low-key stalks me online. I had to block her on Twitter.
I thought you were gonna say your mom low-key stalks the not safe for work board.
So I had to block her on Twitter. I went.
Blocked your own mother on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah. I told her, no, Mom, this is my place for shit posts. This is not a place for you to see this kinds of things that I want to post.
Sweetie, what
Yeah,
the
no,
hell?
Menno. I like what Yekno says. Lies. A shit show would at least be useful for providing manure for gardening.
Oh.
I think that's a
Yekno.
misspelled word there,
Yekno.
Yekno.
Swear to the adorable Buddha? Spell Buddha wrong. Man, you need typing classes. You're worse than some of the articles you read.
Oh,
Swear to the adorable Buddha.
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 oh no, are we talking about the
Is
butter
that-
again?
Oh, Buddha. Buddha. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha.
Money, money! This is just another shit show.
Yeah.
Well, now that you mention it, it does seem that way.
You know, it is.
Oh,
that way.
hey, maybe. You know what I can do?
Oh no.
I'm gonna pull my balls up.
Flex.
I'm gonna pull a Nick. I'm gonna pull my balls up.
Why are you Well,
I was...
you know, I don't care because no one can see you. As long as you don't dock, we're good.
Doc, do it, I dare you.
I have nobody to dock with, though.
You have
Griggs
me?
is right here.
Wow. Okay, this is... Griggs, yeah, I'll dock with you, but this show's gone out of control. It's gone off the rails.
This isn't even the reason why you invited me, but I'll partake.
How often do we stay on subject? Not often lately.
I don't know.
No.
I'm watching you guys. This is a really shitty podcast.
Yeah. Thanks, Griggs. I'm glad to know that you're a huge fan.
It's an endorsement. If I say it's shit, that means it's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Count Danger's server.
Yeah, no, you're just using that reverse psychology on people. I get it.
The weird shit you will find in this Discord, though.
Literally, the weird shit.
No, you're thinking of
No.
Dank's Discord for that one.
Yeah.
Does that even still exist, or is that gone
Yes.
again?
Oh, it's still on.
It'll always exist. It'll exist in your heart.
So,
Yeah, I only get like about 600 or 700 notifications every hour.
well,
from,
they somehow
from that Discord.
they must have kicked me from the server or something, because I'm no longer in it, and I'm not unhappy about it.
Oh no, they had one server that got deleted. They just had a clone server that they set up almost immediately after that one got deleted.
Yeah, I had
And then,
that one. Did they
I don't
move
know.
again?
Maybe. I don't know. I joined like I don't know, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, they probably made a new one, because that's about when this one disappeared.
I only joined because I ended up joining a bunch of different Flat Earth Discord servers.
Oh boy. Well, that's a glowing endorsement for the service to join.
And so I decided, every once in a while when somebody in those servers pisses me off, especially if they're like mod status or higher, I'm just going to share the Discord link with the Dank Brigade. They can do with it what they will. Generally, it ends up with the server being shut down. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we
Flat
have
Earthers are
confirmation. Awesome. We have confirmation that Jables uses biological warfare against Flat Earth servers.
No. It's not all shit posts.
It's Dank's server. It may as well be.
Here's the thing. It's shit posts, and then it's shit posts.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
shitty posts, and then there's posts of shit.
Yeah. Fine line. Fine line.
Dank does both, and they cross that line so readily.
Yeah.
But are you not entertained?
Not when I'm the only mod in the Saints server, and they go in there, and Jeff and Nick didn't give me any fucking warning that Dank was going to be on the show. Yeah, other than that, yeah, I do find it entertaining.
God, yeah, that server. I was lucky enough to be able to walk out of class for that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to. It was the last day of class, and so there was nothing really going on, so I got up and walked out of class to deal with it.
Yeah, for everybody in the Discord, if you would notice, there's an area called Raid Lounge now. Dank's server is the reason why we have that now.
No, Dank's server is the reason we were able to get Jeff's attention to okay it.
Yeah.
Look, if we've noticed anything with raids, especially when I'm involved, we usually end up raiding ourselves as a mitigation to the raid. You know, they can't kill you if you kill yourself.
Yeah, and things look they start getting uncomfortable sometimes.
Well, yeah, it generally turns into, oh, you're raiding us? Well, let's see how well we can raid ourselves. Fuck you. And then we start posting spicier memes.
It's usually more like, you're not even doing it right.
You know, the best deterrence to getting nuked is to have nukes and nuke yourself. Come on, problem solved.
They can't nuke you if you nuke yourself. Knowledge.
Hashtag knowledge. Hashtag here in my garage.
I don't want to know what goes on in your garage, Griggs. Do you have a pit in there? I don't want to know.
I mean, if I wanted
Then
to,
why
know,
ask?
you would know.
I didn't
No,
ask.
I think
was
if
saying,
you...
I'm implying something here. I'm not asking a question.
Look, the existence of the Pit del Grande is none of your concern, okay?
I can answer that. He does have a nice pit in his garage. It's pretty nice. He delivers you lotion every few hours.
Yeah, you know. Or else you get the hose again.
How'd you get out, Jables? Or was your skin just not getting soft enough?
No, we just became friends over a long period of time.
You know, one day I actually got myself down in the pit and we just, rubbed lotion on each other.
Yeah.
Why does this not surprise me? Why does this not surprise me that you two would become buddy over quote unquote rubbing lotion on each other?
Well, so
Look, man,
I couldn't.
Hold on, I'll answer this. I'll answer
There's a
this.
spot on my back I couldn't reach. I needed help. So.
Look, what happens in the pit stays in the pit, okay? Except for the STDs, those stay with you forever.
Yeah. No. That was 3 months. 2 hours. I'm not a quitter.
The absurd. This has gone off the rails entirely. I'm starting to think we need to plan a little further ahead than 3 hours.
Look, Rimsheet.
No, wait,
like I
half
said,
hour.
Rimsheet, like I said, you can't be raided if you raid yourself.
Alright, let's start flagging our own videos.
The best defense is an offense.
Maybe I should do that. I should start flagging the videos from the account. I wonder if that's even possible.
I don't know, but I hope that that's possible, because I want to know what YouTube does.
Yeah, and then you and I will get into a chat. I'll screen share me flagging the videos from the Lesser Saints account, and then we'll post that as a whole another video.
Talk about utter shit posting.
Yeah.
Do you want to get 4chan famous? Because this is how you get 4chan famous.
What, for flagging your own videos?
For having enough autism to flag your
This one's offensive. This one's offensive. I'm gonna report this one twice.
Hey guys, check out these guys. They flagged themselves because they were offensive to themselves. Oh man, now I want to see this.
Yeah, I defend myself on a regular basis.
Holy shit! This is.
You know, the shit that I say in the Discord and the shit that I say on the show. Imagine the shit that I hold in, because I don't want to be that mean.
So I was told to come onto the show because there would be firearms involved, and I'm ready.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about Gunn Fu.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Do you know about Gun Fu?
Please, let's not talk about Equilibrium. That was a dark time in my life.
Equilibrium is the best film adaptation of the book 1984 that exists, okay?
It actually was a pretty good adaptation of 1984, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Gun Fu is, it's what what John Wick uses effectively.
Well,
it's
no,
close quarters combat with firearms.
Here's the thing. What John Wick does is not actually Gun Fu. Gun Fu is math-based maneuver of you calculating exactly where your gun needs to be and flipping them around in the coolest possible way possible, so you can kill people. John Wick just, holds people close to his chest and then shoots their friend. And then shoots them.
I'm keeping you here close to my heart so I can be here for you while I kill your friend.
I know loss is horrible, but it's gonna happen.
John Wick is the epitome of the loss meme.
God damn it. No, that meme has even ruined the word loss for me. Every time I hear it, I'm like, wait, are you going to reference a meme? Are you going to reference a meme?
You hear the word loss, and all of a sudden you start hearing helicopters in your ear, and you keep hearing, Johnson's been shot by the Charlies up in the trees.
Yeah, so Rimshoot, do you have any gun fu videos?
Oh, no.
No, I don't have anything worth watching.
Motherfucker.
So here's the thing about Gun Fu. It did cross over into real life for like for a small period of time when Equilibrium came out, because when does this shit not cross over into real life? For God's sakes, there were people that went to the Matrix showings dressed up as the Sentinels. So there were a disturbingly large number of fat neckbeards trying to flip around guns for a very short period of time in the United States.
How many of them shot themselves?
Here's the thing: none of them were using real guns because real guns are expensive.
Obviously.
It's also unsafe. I don't know. I think we should show this quick little 50-second video.
All right.
Oh god, this is so bad. He's literally not aiming.
All right. Talk while I get this all set up right.
He literally doesn't aim. This is not aiming.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Sorry, I'm looking at it. I shouldn't pre-watch before we laugh at it. This is beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous. I think everybody's gonna love it. It's.
Let's not.
Have you ever shot a gun directly underneath your ballsack?
Yes.
Ooh.
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I always want the answer to the questions I ask. Generally.
Yeah, no, trust me, you don't want the answer to this question.
I do want the answer to that question.
No, you don't.
Rimshoot's done it then. For sure.
No comment.
Did you do it pressed right up against your taint so you could stimulate your prostate?
No. All right.
You're not helping me here.
I'm not trying to help you.
No, I know you're not trying to help me. I need some help from Griggs here. A little commentary.
Well, I've got it up. I've got it up on stream.
It's
okay.
bad. It's just bad.
I'm just gonna hit play.
It's just not good.
Can you guys watch it separately? Because I'm not setting up my circle.
Oh no, I already have. It's not good.
Yeah, it's only like 50 seconds.
This is such utter shit.
Oh yeah. But it's beautiful shit.
He's not.
No, it
he's
isn't.
not even aiming. He's not aiming. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
12
what I'm
seconds
saying.
in. That's 12 seconds in. Let's see how much farther we can get on this thing.
All I'm gonna say is this is more autistic than modern firearms training.
It's so unsafe too.
Oh, it's
Like,
insanely unsafe.
It's
It is
just
literally not accounting. It is not accounting for any of the 4 firearm safety rules.
no, no, it's not. Which are there to promote good habits, of which this guy has none.
What are you talking about? He's not pointing the gun at himself.
Yet.
It's not one of the firearms safety rules.
Yet.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
Actually-
am I wrong,
actually,
or
this-
has
this
he
thing-
even reloaded yet?
He reloads once, but that's a 1911. That's 7 rounds.
No, I see him reload twice with how much room she has played. So
All I'm saying is that's a 1911. Those are 7-round mags. He should not be getting that many rounds off. And it's obvious he's using an airsoft gun.
he has 9-round mags. Thank you very much.
No, that's
It's a
a
1911.
No, he has 9-round mags.
that would
Forget
require an
what the
extended
actual
mag.
logistics of having the gun is and everything like that. He made it work somehow. What he did is he squished an extra couple bullets right into that magazine.
That's not that's not how 1911 mags work.
You load
would
8
know.
into the magazine. The only way I could agree with you is if you're including 1 in the chamber already, because the reality is a magazine will hold 8 rounds. You load it up, you rack the slide, you got 1 in the chamber, 7 in the mag.
He
Not
put-
1911s.
Yeah, I have a 1911 that does that.
Yeah, but he's using flush fit mags.
Yeah, I have a 1911 with a flush fit mag.
I
That does
call
that.
bullshit. Unless your springs are fucked.
No, my springs are fine.
You know, Rimshi, I don't like you.
Shut up, Greg. You haven't shot with me yet.
Guys,
Richie, I
guys,
still
don't fight. Don't fight.
Okay, Dave Rubin, calm the fuck down.
Guys.
agree
guys,
that.
Guys. I agree with both of you, and I disagree with both of you.
I agree.
What?
You know,
Oh,
Griggs, we
good.
should have you
What's
on when
that?
we talk about California gun laws and how utterly stupid. I don't
You
think
should
that's
have
strong
no
enough.
firearms.
Well, yeah, Griggs. Yeah, you sent me that article about how the assault weapons ban got revoked. We talked about that.
Here's the
A
thing.
week or two ago.
It's not that they're stupid, because they are. But the stupidity is not the part that kills it. It's that they're ineffective.
Oh yeah.
The laws that are implemented are and always will be ineffective because people that don't understand firearms are trying to construct legislation to stop firearms. When you don't understand what is and isn't federally available, you don't understand what the hell you're supposed to be doing with the laws that are local.
Case in point, 30-round magazine clips. Rapid fire
no.
clips.
Case in point, fully automatic.
I'm going to...
banned- No. Case in point, fully automatics being banned in California. Good luck getting a fully automatic rifle anywhere else.
Well, no, you can get a
I-
fully automatic rifle, but it has to be prior to a certain date, and it has to have been
Here's the
grandfathered
thing.
in.
Whoa,
And those
whoa,
things are so
no,
exceedingly
no,
expensive that you may as well buy a car.
What about a fully semi-automatic?
Shut up,
the fuck
Jables.
I would like to sign a petition for me to be the new co-host. So Jake,
What, guys? I don't know what I said wrong. I heard it from a gun instructor on CNN.
They never said he was a gun instructor. They said
actually they did.
They did?
They did.
They said he specifically said I trained soldiers with this firearm.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be a little pedantic. That doesn't make you an instructor. In his case, it makes him incompetent.
He instructed people. I think that makes you an instructor. Not by label, but by action.
Like I said, I'm gonna be pedantic.
Okay.
James, I'd like to file a petition to fire Rimsky from his position.
Either
That's fine.
way,
I'm the only one with the password to this account. So, can you run OBS?
Yes.
Cool.
Another question: do you have a pulse?
Yeah. All right.
You know,
Well,
you know
no,
what this means.
I'm gonna keep Rimshi around until I get my desktop all built and set up. So
You mean you
Well,
spent
I'm
all
big
of yesterday trying to build it and it's still not built?
oh well, I had to take apart an old tower with a bunch of garbage parts in it. On top of that, and then and drinking and swimming in the pool and hanging out.
In other
Hold on,
words,
hold on.
you're a slacker and you don't deserve the parts you have.
Hold on. Was the swimming in the pool before, after, or during the construction?
We were actually swimming in the pool while we constructed it. We figured we just put it on like a little raft and it'd be fun.
Please stop. Please, you're literally hurting me. That's my job.
No. All of this was
What,
like
your job is to build computers in pools?
No, it's just to fix computers in pools.
the actual construction of it happened hours after I dried off, and we had dinner and shit like that. It was good.
Boy.
It's okay. It's okay.
Next time we talk about California gun law, we will we'll drag you in.
For sure.
I offer my services for all gun-related topics. For I know far too much.
Yeah. All right. So, Greg, anything you want to shill today?
Just to spite a special someone, the Squigs and Griggs show will not be on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it will never be on until a certain somebody comes with a goddamn format.
We got
a little
Griggs
shade
here, so
it's technically half the show, but it is not Monday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Yeah, trying to figure out who the other person is.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Anyways.
He's probably a furry.
I don't know, it's Dr.
have you guys
something?
seen Dankula's furry juggalo video?
Yes.
I sent that to my friend who's a furry, and he laughed his ass off.
Look, all I'm gonna say is ICP would be one of the people I would expect for this video to come out of.
I don't know. I had to agree with Dank when he was like, if you told me this video existed, I would have told you to fuck off.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
All right.
Watch it, people.
Any closing remarks?
Watch it, people. It's funny.
Yeah. And with that, we've been your Let's Just Saints Discord. Thank you guys for watching, whoever did watch. We hope to check you again next Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out the YouTube Saints shortly after this in about 20 minutes at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope everybody has a good night, and thanks for watching.